Salam. Sabran.
Salam.
Alaykum salam. Alaykum salam. Quran says when a person goes from this life to the next life, angels come and say salam according to what you were patient with in this life.
Les anges, ils disent que quand un homme il va décéder de ce monde, les anges, ils viennent, ils disent paix sur vous et tu seras récompensé avec ce que tu étais patient avec.
This life is a testing ground. It's a struggle. It can be light or heavy according to the situation.
Et cette vie est une vie de test et ça peut être léger ou lourd dépendant de la situation.
There was a famous hadith. The Shaykh used to say, Allah bless him, make him look to us. Prophet ﷺ was returning from war. He was ordered to take up arms to fight the unbelievers who were coming to destroy him and the Sahaba and erase Islam from earth. He was patient with them. He carried their abuse for years, and finally the order came from Allah to fight. And they began to fight. And there were several battles, famous battles. From one of those terrible battles, they were returning home to Medina, Munawwara. And as they approached their home, Prophet ﷺ, he said to his men, "Oh my Sahaba, oh my men, don't lay down your weapons, not yet. Keep your arms, because we're going from the small war to the great war. Jihad al-Saghira to Jihad al-Kabira, Jihad al-Akbar." And that war was terrible. So many killed and wounded, and they saw so many horrible things. And the Sahaba wondered, what could be worse than what we just saw? You can translate or no?
Non. Le prophète sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ils sont revenus de la bataille de Badr. Il a dit, n'arrêtez pas de combattre parce que maintenant on est venu du petit combat au grand combat. Et les Sahaba, après un tel combat, ils se demandaient qu'est-ce qui pourrait être ce grand combat, ce grand djihad.
Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the war we just saw, fighting to other people, fighting to our enemies. That's one thing. But the most terrible enemy is the wild beast, wild animal between the two sides of the human chest. Our nafs, our ego.
Et il a dit, le petit bataille, c'était entre deux armées, mais le grand bataille, c'est entre nous-mêmes, ce qui est à l'intérieur de notre propre poitrine. C'est-à-dire le combat contre le nafs, l'ego.
That war is going on always. And Maulana Sheikh Nazim and Maulana Sheikh Hisham, they were commanders in that war.
Et cette guerre, il continue
Commanders
toujours.
directing.
Et nos mashayikh, Maulana Sheikh Nazim, Maulana Sheikh Hisham, ils sont des commandants dans cette guerre.
Directing their followers how to tackle or combat the nafs, the ego.
En dirigeant celui qui les suit, comment combattre le nafs, leur ego.
They asked Maulana Sheikh Nazim, how can you tell if you're winning the war against your ego?
Et ils ont demandé à Maulana Sheikh Nazim, comment est-ce que tu peux connaître si tu gagnes la guerre contre votre propre ego?
He said, there's no winning. You have to kill it.
Et il a
You don't
dit,
kill it. If
No.
you don't kill it, anytime it can make revolution on you.
Et il a dit, il n'y a pas de manière de gagner, il faut le tuer. Car n'importe quand, si tu ne l'as pas tué, il peut faire une révolution sur toi.
Alhamdulillah, he kept his murids light. His method was embodied in his personality, in his way, and he made the way for it easy and light. But if you read the struggles of awliya, how they were so tight.
Et Maulana Sheikh Nazim, il a rendu le chemin léger pour tous ses mourides, ses étudiants. Et il était habillé dans sa personnalité d'une telle légèreté qui a rendu ça facile pour tout le monde, pour être capable de suivre. Mais si tu lisais les histoires des saints, des awliya, du combat qu'ils ont fait contre leur nafs, c'était très, très serré et très, très difficile et pas évident.
He kept it light for us. The way he conducted himself and did the fight against the ego was kneaded in, like the yeast in the bread.
Et il a gardé ça léger d'une manière qu'on puisse combattre, ces étudiants puissent combattre leur nafs très subtilement, comme si c'était mélangé comme le levure dans le pain.
He kept a balanced way, as Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that the murids and muridas, you don't feel it. We felt as if we were free, but we were under tarbiyah, training.
Et il a gardé, selon la sunna du prophète, ça très léger, balancé, c'est-à-dire comme ça, on ne le ressentait pas, mais en même temps, on était sous le tarbiyah, c'est-à-dire l'entraînement spirituel pour combattre et restreindre l'ego.
He told a story for Shaykh Abdul Qadir Gailani. Ask his help for all your problems. Shaykh Muhyiddin Qadir Gailani, he said, ask their help for your travelings, for your doings, for your difficulties, for dunya, ask. He said, don't bother the other awliya, ask them. Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Gailani, he took his murid, he had a close murid, and he wanted to give that murid his amanat, his trust, to open the locks on his heart, to open the powers. Maulana Shaykh Hashem, Allah bless him, raise him higher and higher, said we have 6 powers or 7 powers within us, unused, they're locked. They have to be unlocked from outside. Hakikatul Tawajjuh, Hakikatul Tai, Hakikatul Faid, Hakikatul Jazba, Hakikatul Irshad, Hakikatul, what's the other one? There's one more. Tasarruf, Hakikat, yeah, like that. Power to be in 2 places at once, to travel instantly, to direct your spiritual power to a point, power to enter into the thoughts of another, to direct them, power, all kinds of powers are locked in the heart. The Shaykh doesn't unlock them until he feels the murid is ready to control that power. It's like giving a rifle to a small boy or a pistol or keys to the car. You can't. When they're ready, they can open it. And Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gailani, he took his murid on a mountain path, a narrow path along the side of a mountain. And he wants to give him one more test to see if his murid is ready to receive his amanat, his trust. Is it translation or it's okay?
Non. Et Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani, Moulana Sheikh Nazim nous a instruit de prendre son support et son madad, surtout pour ce qui concerne les affaires de ce monde, dans cette dunya, car il y a des awliya spécifiques. Et il a raconté une histoire qu'il était avec une mouride dans une place étroite où on passe d'une montagne et il voulait lui faire une dernière test à son mouride.
He made a test for his murid. When they walked along that, they were high up over the river, thousands of feet, and it was a long way down. They reached a certain point. Without warning, he pushed his murid off the side of the cliff to go down into the gorge.
Et ils étaient en très, très haute sur une falaise, en haut d'une rivière, et sans aucun avertissement, soudainement, il a poussé son mouride pour tomber, qui était très, très loin en bas.
The murid didn't say anything. He surrendered.
Et le mouride n'a rien dit. Il était soumis.
He didn't object. And Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Gilani, when he saw his murid was not objecting or refusing, he reached down with his power and caught that murid before he hit the bottom of the cliff.
Et quand Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani, il a vu que son mouride était soumis totalement avec son pouvoir, il lui a étendu le main et lui a pris avant qu'il puisse tomber par terre.
Even he broke his arm, and that murid never complained. We didn't hear anything from him.
Et même il a cassé son bras, mais il n'a jamais se plaint. Il n'a rien dit. Il était soumis totalement à la volonté.
He pulled him up to be with him once again on the path, and he said now he was getting ready to give him his amana to unlock the locks of his hidden powers. And just then, Shah Naqshband appeared on that path.
Et il lui a retourné en eau avec lui. Et juste quand il allait ouvrir les secrets du cœur à l'intérieur de lui, Shah Naqshband, il a apparu sur ce chemin devant Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani et cette mouride.
He said to Sayyidina Abdul Qadir, not so fast. We're going to give the murid his amanat, but not so fast. And Abdul Qadir says, why? I tried him severely and he never complained anything.
Et Shah Naqshband, il a dit, on va lui donner, mais pas si vite. Et Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani, il a répondu, mais pourquoi? Je lui ai testé sévèrement et il était toujours dans la soumission totale.
Shah Naqshband, Allah bless him, he said, we didn't hear him complain outwardly, but Allah gave me a device to hear what's going on in his heart.
Et Sayyidina Shah Naqshband, il a dit, oui, on n'a rien entendu qu'il disait à haute voix quelque chose, mais Allah Azza wa Jal m'a donné un pouvoir dans la cœur pour l'écouter, ce qu'il dit à l'intérieur.
How finally he sees and hears. A secret was given from that holy ayat to Shah Naqshband, and Naqshband to look deeply into the hearts of the followers to see what's going on there.
Et spécialement pour la Naqshbandiya, le cheikh, il a une secrète de regarder particulièrement à l'intérieur du cœur pour voir qu'est-ce qui se passe.
And he said to Sayyidina Abdul Qadir that your murid, he didn't complain openly, but as he went down the cliff, I heard him say in his heart, I wonder with which wisdom my sheikh has thrown me off this cliff.
Et, et pendant qu'il tombait avant, il a écouté dans son cœur que le mouride disait, je me demande avec quelle sagesse mon maître, mon cheikh m'a lancé de cette montagne.
He said, every sheikh has his standards, but to me that sounds like a complaint.
Et il a dit, chaque cheikh, il a ses standards, mais pour moi, subtilement, on dirait que c'est comme une plainte. C'est comme s'il se plaignait.
Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. When the Murid was quiet through that second testing, he received his amanat. Everything worked out all right, inshallah. But to show what a fine criterion they use, fine standards they use.
Et éventuellement, il était patient, cette mouride, il a reçu son promesse spirituelle, mais c'est pour montrer la subtilité des hauts standards que les awliya ils utilisent, comment c'est tellement difficile et subtil de recevoir cette promesse.
Like the man who was traveling on his horse, he stopped at a oasis, got off his horse, and said to his horse, come, my good boy, eat grass and drink the water here. And he went to lie down to rest.
Comme un homme qui
Oh, my
avait...
horse, eat grass and drink. He rode to the oasis. He gets off his horse. He pats the horse. Good boy. Eat and drink. Eat grass and drink and rest. I'm going to rest.
Et il a ramené son cheval, cet monsieur, à l'oasis. Il lui a dit, mange le gazon et bois et repose, et moi aussi je vais reposer.
When he closed his eyes to rest, he dreamed he heard two voices arguing with each other.
Et quand il était endormi, il a rêvé qu'il a entendu deux voix qui se combattaient entre eux.
It was the two angels that Quran tells us are appointed to every person to write their good deeds and bad deeds. And those two angels were fighting. Who's going to write?
Et les deux anges qui écrivent les bonnes actions et les mauvaises actions, ils parlaient entre eux qui va écrire quoi, et se combattaient entre eux.
The angel that writes the good deeds is saying, I'm going to write, it's a good deed. He said for his horse to eat grass and drink. He was being kind to his animal. It's a good deed. I have to write it.
Et l'un qui donnait les bonnes récompenses, il a dit, il a fait une bonne œuvre à son animal, je vais l'écrire comme bonne œuvre.
The other angel that writes the bad deeds says, what you're talking about is Malayani. Doesn't concern him. Does a horse need to be told to eat or drink?
Et l'autre, il a dit, c'était pas son concerne. Il faisait quelque chose qu'il ne devrait pas faire, car est-ce qu'un cheval a besoin de lui dire qu'il faut boire et manger?
I'm writing it as a useless, empty deed.
Et je devrais l'écrire, je l'écris comme une œuvre qui est vide et qui n'a pas de vraie raison d'être.
And that man woke up. Oh, why? How tough, how tight. They're looking at me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. Make it easy for us. First, to be humble, to know that the high standard is very high. Very high. We take the name of prophets and awliya, we're saying for Sayyid Abu Qadir Jalani, inshallah, as if it's nothing, as if we're on the same. No, they were on, their world was so fine. We have to know we're on the bottom level, to be humble. And second, to know we have to try to find ways to improve ourselves, to do something about our ego, time by time. Shaykh Nazim, Allah bless him. I'm going to finish with this. He used to emphasize for us the last two ayats of Alam Nashrah Laka Sadrak, Surah in Shura, Surah Al-Shah. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَى رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. He said all prophets and all awliya were using the power of that ayat, those two lines. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَى رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. He said that ayat says, as soon as you finish one good action, go to the next one. He said you couldn't find them idle. Prophets were dynamic, awliya dynamic, or they were resting. To go from one goodness to the next goodness, from that one to the next one. And they were stepping through their lives like that. When they applied the power of those ayats, of those two lines. Shaykh Muhyiddin, Allah bless him, said, ayat can be even one line, even a few words can be an ayat. And you can take a power from it. He called them hijrs. I don't know what's the plural for hijrs. Hijran. Hijrs. Hijr, a rock to stand on. A rock, a support. Awliya were using Holy Quran, its ayats, as supports, to support their lives, their spiritual lives. If you look at Holy Quran, this is Shahrul Quran, the month of Quran, Ramadan. Power is given to notice these. If you look in Quran, you see it comes out at you. When you find something affects your heart, use it. It will give you a support. Like Faida Faraqta Fansab, like 6,666 ayats. I don't know how many sentences and phrases, endless. All of them with power to support you. Look for it and use it.
Et Moulana Shaykh Nazim, il a parlé toujours du verset فَإِنَّ مَا الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَى رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. Et donc, on peut utiliser toutes ces différentes ayats dans notre vie, dans le Coran, pour nous aider, pour ouvrir différentes choses. Et il a dit, Shaykh Abdul Haqq, que on doit d'abord être humble et connaître que nos niveaux n'est pas du niveau de Awliya, que leur niveau est hors de la capacité pour nous de comprendre où ils sont arrivés et comment, dans quelle réalité ils étaient testés pour arriver à ça.
Quran contains so many of these secret powers. If you read and you find something effect on your heart, use it. It's for you, he said. I saw him once going to give a speech before a huge crowd, and he had to go up a stairway to the lectern, saying under his breath, Nasrun min Allahi wa fatun qareeb. Nasrun min Allahi wa fatun qareeb. Nasrun min Allahi wa fatun qareeb. Very low, no one could hear it. I was able to hear it. I was close by to teach me. Take those jewels from Holy Quran and use them. They're for using, not only for reading or for putting on the wall. As Prophet said, Quran one day would be only to decorate the wall, but use it. Take it out from the book and use it. Not necessary to memorize whole Quran. Find one ayat and use it as a hijr to support your life, your spirituality. We can't be like Bayezid Bistami or Shah Naqshband or Abdul Qadir Jilani, you'll be like ourselves. But take a support. So you prove step by step. Sayyidina Omar radiallahu anh said, if Omar isn't improved today over yesterday, better to be underground than above ground. Try to be improvement a little bit. Take from Holy Quran and use it.
Et Sayyidina Omar, il a dit, si on n'est pas amélioré d'un jour à l'autre, c'est mieux d'être en dessous de la terre. Et donc, le Coran, Maulana Shaykh Nazim, j'étais avec lui, il utilisait un verset que pour de vaincre vient d'Allah, Nasrullah minallah wa fathun qarib. Et donc, il disait à petite voix, mais je pouvais l'écouter car il voulait me dire que le Coran n'est pas juste un livre pour lire ou pour mettre, comme le hadith dit, de décorer la mur, mais on doit utiliser les ayats. On ne peut pas être comme les grandes awliya, mais on peut à notre niveau, on est comme nous-mêmes, utiliser ces différentes ayats pour que ça devienne vivante dans notre vie et ça va nous donner un support ou un hijr, une place où on puisse rester en support.
Shaykh Nazim said, this world is between the horns of a bull, tossed one way and the other way. Good days and bad days, happy times and tough times, sad times, ease and panic, back and forth. And that bull is standing on a rock. Be like that bull. Take a rock to support you. Take a place to stand to support yourself.
Et Maulana Shaykh Nazim m'a dit que le monde est dans les deux cornes d'un grand taureau qui est bougé par différentes choses, mais il est solide sur tout ce monde est sur les cornes du taureau qui est sur une grande roche. Donc, essayer d'être être ancré solidement comme cet taureau sur cette roche.
That bull is standing on a rock to support it through the changing of events. That rock on the back of a whale, the whale of Holy Quran. The whale in an ocean, the ocean in the power of Allah. Take from the power of Allah to support your lives, and all believers come up. At the beginning of Ramadan, a muezzin calls out in heavens, "O believers, rise up, come up. This is the time." May Allah grant us.
Amen.
May Allah grant us more power.
Amen.
From His power, ocean. Fatiha.
Alhamdulillah.
One day tired, one day shouting. Ajib. Yesterday I couldn't come up from the bed. Today I can't stop shouting. Alhamdulillah. Ya Rabbi shukr. Ya Rabbi shukr.